Hello dear students, and welcome to Structure 2. So far in this course, what we have learned was about superstructure, that is, whatever that stays above ground. From this part onward, we'll be learning about substructure, and we'll be especially learning about soil and its behavior, because the structure is obviously founded on soil. And to make a structure economic, safe and efficient construction, we have to learn about these things. Now in this week, we'll be focusing on behavior of soil itself. We'll be grabbing the bull by the horn and learning about soil behavior, some of the fundamental things that affects the behavior of soil. And at the same time, we'll be learning about soil formation, its classification, and a process what we call subsoil investigation that helps us to extract information on soil behavior. Now let's do a quick experiment before we go any further. I want all of you to put your palms together and slide one past the other. It's easy, right? Now press them a bit harder against each other and then slide it. It becomes much more difficult. Now why we're talking about this? Now if we look at a soil or mass of a soil, very small mass of a soil, and magnify it a million times, you will see something like this, individual particles touching each other. And the overall behavior of the soil is the accumulation or these contact forces interacting with each other. So all the particles interacting with each other, the overall behavior of soil comes from that. Any stress applied on soil, what happens? These particles rearranges and compacts to a different formation, and that keeps its strength. Now that's mostly about the behavior of sandy soil. Now if we look at clay soil, you will see they come in lumps. They're not individual particles, these lumps. They are accumulation of millions of particles, and if we magnify them, we'll see something like these. Now why they look like these? Because obviously there are some invisible forces attracting all these particles together. They're mostly due to some electrochemical activity and some physical forces, what we call suction, and all these factors affect the behavior of a soil. We'll be learning about how stress affects the soil, how the particle size, how particle friction affects the soil behavior, and so forth. Now let's have a quick summary what we are learning this week. We'll be starting with soil formation. We'll be taking you back some billions of years in geological time and look at what happened, how the soil formed. And then we'll be looking at its classification. We usually classify them into two broad categories. One is granular soil, and the other one is cohesive soil, clay soil and sandy soil. And after that, we'll be looking in a bit more details about some of the factors that affects the behavior, and we'll be wrap up this week with subsoil investigation. We'll be learning what are the things we do, how we extract the sample, what we look into the sample, how we do laboratory tests, what are the different types of tests we do, and so forth. And your assessment task for this week will be based on soil classification. You will have to collect two different types of soil from around your house, and there is a video that will help you to classify the soils into two different categories. And there are some other handouts, supporting materials as well, on how to write reports on that. Hope you will enjoy learning this week. Thank you very much.